Hello everyone. We have started with our new chapter, that is dental and cosmetic formulations. So in previous lecture we covered all types of facial cosmetics. In that we studied the different types of powders, different types of creams, again the preparations for the eye makeup and the shaving medias like leather shaving cream, brushless shaving cream, shaving sticks, then aftershave preparations. Now in this lecture we start with new types of cosmetics. So now we will study the antiperspirants and the deodorant formulations. So first we will see what is meant by antiperspirant and deodorants. Okay, so in normal course both the men and women perspire, which is more in summer and rainy season. Okay, the perspiration is more, that is perspiration means sweating. Okay, there is more sweating in the summer and rainy seasons. Okay, so when the perspiration or sweat is fresh, it does not produce any bad odor, but after some time, due to the bacterial decomposition, the bad odor comes from the perspiration. Okay, when the sweating is fresh, there is no any odor, but after some time, because of the bacterial decomposition, that sweat produces a bad odor. Okay, and to mask that particular bad odor or to prevent the sweating, the antiperspirants and deodorants are used. So antiperspirants are play to inhibit the flow of perspiration. Okay, the both has same function, that is they are used to mask the bad odor of the sweat, but they has the different mechanisms. There is a slight difference in the mechanisms of antiperspirants and the deodorants. Okay, all of you are familiar with the deodorants, or all of you have used or using these deodorant formulations of different brands. Okay, so how they actually acts, or how they prevents the sweating, or how they mask the bad odor of our sweat. Okay, so antiperspirants are play to inhibit the flow of perspiration. जे काही अँटीपर्स्पिरंट त्यांच्या नावामध्येच आहे, अँटीपर्स्पिरंट्स. अँटी मीन्स अपोजिट, बरोबर आहे, किंवा ते अवॉइड करतात. अगेन पर्स्पिरंट्स मीन्स पर्स्पिरेशन म्हणजे स्वेटिंग, बरोबर आहे. अँटीपर्स्पिरंट म्हणजे काय, की जे स्वेटिंग प्रिव्हेंट करतात, असे एजंट्स की जे स्वेटिंग प्रिव्हेंट करतात. तर अँटीपर्स्पिरंट्स प्लेस टू इनहिबिट द फ्लो ऑफ पर्स्पिरेशन. अँटीपर्स्पिरंट काय करतात, स्वेटिंग इनहिबिट करतात. ओके, किंवा ते स्वेट प्रोड्यूस होऊ देत नाहीत, त्यांना आपण काय म्हणतो, अँटीपर्स्पिरंट. अगेन नेक्स्ट वन इज द डिओडरंट्स. ओके, deodorants are nothing but which mask the bad odor of sweat. ओके, स्वेटिंगमधून किंवा पर्स्पिरेशनमधून जो काही बॅड ओडर तयार होतो आहे तो मास्क करण्याचं काम कोण करतात, तर डिओडरंट्स. ओके, सो डिओडरंट्स आर प्ले टू इनहिबिट द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ बॅड ओडर इन पर्स्पिरेशन बाय सप्रेसिंग द ग्रोथ ऑफ बॅक्टेरिया और मास्क द अनप्लेजंट ओडर. ओके, when the sweat is fresh there is no odor, but after some time the bacterial growth occurs, and because of the bacterial breakdown of that particular sweat the bad odor produces. So deodorant, what they does, they suppresses the growth of bacteria so that the bacterial decomposition of the sweat get prevented, and by this way the bad odor of the sweat get masked. Again, the antiperspirants and deodorants are the cosmetic products which are used to reduce the sweat formation and the body odor. ओके, अँटीपर्स्पिरंट आणि डिओडरंट यांचा मेन यूज काय आहे तर ते स्वेट प्रोड्यूस करणं प्रिव्हेंट करतात. आणखीन जो काही बॅड ओडर आहे ते तो मास्क करतात. ओके, सो अँटीपर्स्पिरंट प्रिव्हेंट द फ्लो ऑफ स्वेट अँड डिओडरंट्स mask the bad odor of sweat. Okay, so what is the mechanism of action of that antiperspirant? Antiperspirant कशा प्रकारे स्वेटचा फ्लो प्रिव्हेंट करतात ते आपण बघूया. ओके, सो अँटीपर्स्पिरंट कंटेन सबस्टन्स विच हॅविंग ॲस्ट्रिंजंट ॲक्शन. ओके, अँटीपर्स्पिरंटमध्ये असे काही एजंट असतात की ज्यांना ॲस्ट्रिंजंट ॲक्शन असते किंवा ते ॲस्ट्रिंजंट ॲक्शन दाखवतात. सो व्हॉट इज मीन बाय ॲस्ट्रिंजंट्स? ॲस्ट्रिंजंट दीज आर द एजंट्स विच precipitate the proteins at the opening of the sweat gland. So on reacting with the skin protein, it causes the coagulation which is accompanied by a swelling at the opening of the sweat gland, and this helps in blocking the opening of sweat glands, thus reduce the flow of sweat. ओके, अँटीपर्स्पिरंट कशा प्रकारे ॲक्ट होतात किंवा ते कशा प्रकारे स्वेटचा फ्लो प्रिव्हेंट करतात तर अँटीपर्स्पिरंट दिस फॉर्म्युलेशन कंटेन सम ॲस्ट्रिंजंट एजंट्स and that astringent causes the coagulation of protein of the skin, okay, at the opening of sweat gland. ओके, स्किनमधले जे काही प्रोटीन आहेत त्यांचं ते कोॲग्युलेशन करतात किंवा प्रेसिपिटेशन करतात आणि असं केल्यामुळे काय होतं आहे स्वेट ग्लँड ब्लॉक होत आहेत अँड बिकॉज ऑफ द ब्लॉकिंग ऑफ स्वेट ग्लँड द स्वेट डज नॉट फ्लोज फ्रॉम द ग्लँड्स. ओके, आणि अशा प्रकारे स्वेट प्रोड्यूस करणं प्रिव्हेंट केलं जातं. And deodorants prevents the growth of bacteria, and because of the prevention of bacteria, the bacterial decomposition of sweat get suppresses, and by this way the deodorant mask the bad odor of sweat. So which are the different ideal properties that antiperspirant should possess? The antiperspirant and the deodorants should be non-toxic. Okay, they should not contain any type of chemical agent which cause toxicity to our skin. So that formulation should be non-toxic. Also it should be non-irritant. It should not cause any type of irritation to the skin. Again, it should have pH between 4 to 4.5. Okay, for the easy penetration of that particular astringent or deodorant agents or substances, its pH should be between 4 to 4.5, which is compatible with our skin. Again, it should have no effect on fabrics. Okay, the different cloths which we are wearing, that particular antiperspirant or deodorant should not cause any type of effect on our fabrics or cloths. Like they should not cause any staining to the cloths. Again, it should have astringent properties. Okay, they must have the astringent properties to prevent the flow of sweat. So the antiperspirants contain the various metals like aluminum, iron, chromium, lead, mercury and the zinc, which has a astringent properties and which precipitate the protein. Okay, so different metals like aluminum, iron, chromium, lead, then mercury and zinc, these type of metals has the astringent properties. So these metals are incorporated in the formulation of astringent, but some of these metals may cause toxicity also, okay, or the decolorization also. So the salt of aluminum and zinc are very commonly used as the antiperspirant. Okay, aluminum and zinc salt कॉमनली यूज केले जातात याच्यामध्ये ॲज अ अँटीपर्स्पिरंट or some metals are also used in the combination also. Again these antiperspirants are available as lotions, then cream, spray or the powders. ओके, तुम्ही डायग्राममध्ये बघू शकता जे काही सगळे डिओडरंट्स आहेत ते मेनली एरोसोल कंटेनर्समध्ये असतात, बरोबर आहे, स्प्रे फॉर्ममध्ये असतात किंवा त्याचे क्रीम्ससुद्धा आहेत, स्टिक असतील, ओके, किंवा पावडर्स फॉर्ममध्ये सुद्धा ते अवेलेबल असतात. रोल ऑन फॉर्म्युलेशन्स. ओके, सो वी कॅन फॉर्म्युलेट अँटीपर्स्पिरंट और डिओडरंट ॲज अ लोशन्स ऑल्सो, क्रीम्स, पावडर्स और द स्प्रे. Okay, so this is about the antiperspirant. This mechanism of action is important. Many times it is asked in a board exams. Write the mechanisms of antiperspirant formulation or write down the definition of antiperspirants and the deodorants, okay, and the mechanism of their action, or how they suppresses the sweat formation, or how they mask the bad odor of the sweat. Then the next type of cosmetics which are used for hairs are the shampoos. So all of you are well known about the shampoos, okay, or day to day all of you are using the shampoos, but what are that shampoos or how you can define them? Shampoos are defined as a preparation containing a surface active agents which are used to remove the dirt, grease and the debris from the hair, scalp and other parts of the body without affecting the natural gloss of the hair. Okay, so this is the definition of shampoo. Shampoos are the preparation which contain a surface active agent or the detergents and which are mainly used to remove the dirt, grease or oiliness or some debris, dirt from the hairs as well as from the scalp or from the other parts of the body without affecting the natural gloss of the hair. Okay, आपल्या हेअरच्या ज्या काही नॅचरल प्रॉपर्टीज आहेत, ग्लॉसीनेस असेल किंवा लश्चर असेल, सॉफ्टनेस असेल, याच्यावरती कोणताही प्रकारचा अफेक्ट न करता किंवा ते आहेत तसे मेंटेन करून जस्ट त्यातून रिमूव्ह काय केलं जातं, तर डर्ट किंवा ग्रीज हे रिमूव्ह केलं जातं आहे. फॉर द क्लिन्झिंग ॲक्शन दे आर मेनली यूज. ओके, फॉर द कंडिशनिंग पर्पज द शॅम्पूज आर यूज. Okay, some shampoos may contain the conditioning agent also, but the main purpose is to cleanse the hairs, to remove any type of dirt, grease or the debris, okay, from the hairs. They also helps to give the fragrant softness to the hairs. Shampoos also imparts or gives the fragrance, okay, good fragrance or softness to the hairs. Hairs become more fluffy or lustrous after using the shampoos. So it is available in a solution or suspension form and prepared by dissolving cleansing agents and the other agents to improve the quality of shampoo. Shampoos are mainly available in the solution or suspension form. They may be solution or suspension which contain the cleansing agent. The main agent in the shampoo is the cleansing agent, that is surface active agents or the detergents. So along with these cleansing agents, some other additives are also added like conditioning agents, thickening agents, opassifying agents and the preservatives. Okay, so we will see that in the formulation of shampoos. Next one is which are the ideal qualities of shampoo. The shampoo should be non-toxic and non-irritant. They should not cause any type of toxicity or irritation to the scalp. Again, it should be capable of removing the grease, dirt and the skin debris from the hairs and the scalp. Shampoo should be capable of removing the grease, that is oils or the dirts and the skin debris from the hair and the scalp. जे काही हेअर्सवरती ग्रीज असेल, ऑइल किंवा डर्ट असेल ते प्रॉपरली शॅम्पूने ते प्रॉपरली क्लीन झालं पाहिजे. अगेन इट शुड प्रोवाइड सफिशियंट फ्रॅग्रन्स टू द हेअर आफ्टर इट्स यूज. The hair should become fragrant after the use of shampoos to feel a good. Okay, again it should effective in small amount. Shampoos are generally used in small amount. Okay, so they must be effective in a small amounts. Again it should get easily removed by washing. They should has a good water washability, or they get effectively or clearly completely get washed by using water. Again it should produce sufficient foam both in hard and soft water. Okay, there is some difference between hard and soft water. There are two types of waters, hard water and soft water. So hard water which contain the more amount of elements or metal ions, and the soft water contain the less amount of elements. Generally soaps are not effective, or they do not produce any type of foam or lather in hard water, but in soft water different soaps produces the rich foam or the lather. So shampoos should produce the sufficient foam in the hard as well as soft water. जरी आपण हार्ड वॉटर यूज केलं किंवा सॉफ्ट वॉटर, दोन्ही टाईपच्या वॉटरमध्ये शॅम्पूने सफिशियंट अमाऊंटमध्ये फोम किंवा लेदर प्रोड्यूस केला पाहिजे. ओके, किंवा त्याच्यामध्ये अशाच टाईपचे डिटर्जंट्स किंवा सरफेस ॲक्टिव्ह एजंट ॲड केलेले असले पाहिजेत की जे हार्ड आणि सॉफ्ट दोन्ही टाईपचे वॉटरमध्ये रिच लेदर किंवा फोम प्रोड्यूस करतील. अगेन इट शुड मेक द हेअर सॉफ्ट, shiny and the lustrous. Okay, it should impart a shine or luster and softness to the hairs. So these are the ideal qualities of shampoos, and this question is asked in the exam. Write down the ideal qualities of shampoos. Okay, so this is the important part also as per the exam point of view. So we see the definition and ideal qualities of shampoos. The next are the types of shampoos. Depending on the active ingredients which are added in the shampoos, they are used for the different purposes or the different conditions of the hairs and scalps. So depending on the active constituents added in the shampoos, they are categorized in different types, like medicated anti-dandruff shampoos. These shampoos contain the anti-dandruff agents which remove the dandruff or which stop the formation of dandruff. Again the powder shampoos, there are powder shampoos are also available which are sufficiently wet by the water, and after that they are applied, or the powder shampoos are applied on the wet hair also. Then clear liquid shampoos, then gel shampoos, then soap shampoos, cream or paste shampoos, then the liquid cream or the lotion shampoos, then baby shampoos and the aerosol shampoos. Depending on their formulations, there are different type of shampoos. Again, these types are also asked in exam. Write down the type of shampoos. So you have to mention this all types. The next one is the formulation of shampoos, which are the different additives are added in the shampoo formulation. Okay, so first one is the surfactants. So main ingredient in the shampoo is the surfactant or the surface active agents. which are capable of cleansing the hairs and which produces the foam or leather. So which are the different types of surfactants are used in shampoos? These are anionic, cationic, amphoteric and the non-ionic. So first is the anionic type of surfactants are widely used as a detergent in a shampoos. An example is the sodium lauryl sulfate. Okay. Anionic surfactants has the more detergent properties and they are mainly used as a detergent which produces the foam or leather or which shows the cleansing action, okay, or which cleanses our hairs or which removes the dirt, grease from the hairs. Okay. So anionic type of surfactant, that is sodium lauryl sulfate, is a best surface active agent or detergent which is added in most of the shampoos. The next are the cationic surfactant are used as additives in a small quantity and they have the low cleansing and foam property as compared to anionic surfactant. Okay, cationic surfactant example is acetyl pyridinium salt, but this cationic surfactant has a low cleansing property and they produces low amount of foam, okay, as compared to anionic surfactant. Anionic surfactant has the good detergent properties as well as they produces the more foam, पण कॅटिओनिक हे काय आहेत, कमी प्रमाणामध्ये फोम प्रोड्यूस करतात किंवा ते त्यांच्या क्लिन्झिंग प्रॉपर्टीज कमी आहेत, ते इफेक्टिव्ह क्लिन्झिंग होऊ देत नाहीत. सो दे आर यूज इन अ स्मॉल क्वांटिटीज. अन एक्झाम्पल इज acetyl pyridinium salt. The next is the amphoteric surfactants are used for mild shampoos such as baby shampoos. An example is the derivatives of amino acid. Amphoteric shampoos are the mild shampoos, okay. त्यांना कमी प्रमाणामध्ये डिटर्जंट प्रॉपर्टीज असतात किंवा ते माइल्ड ॲक्शन दाखवतात. ओके, सो दिस टाईप ऑफ सर्फॅक्टंट्स आर ॲडेड इन द बेबी शॅम्पूज. जे लहान मुलांचे शॅम्पूज असतील त्याच्यामध्ये ॲम्फोटेरिक टाईप ऑफ सर्फॅक्टंट्स ॲड केले जातात की जे त्यांना सूट करतात लहान मुलांसाठी. सो एक्झाम्पल इज द डेरिव्हेटिव्ज ऑफ अमिनो ॲसिड. द नेक्स्ट टाईप इज नॉन अनियोनिक सर्फॅक्टंट्स. ओके, नॉन आयोनिक सर्फॅक्टंट्स are used in combination with other surfactants. Example is the lauric monoethanoamide. So these four types of surfactants are added in the shampoos. They are either used in combination or individually they are added in the shampoos. The next type of additive is the conditioning agent or the conditioners. Conditioning agents are used in lubricating the hair and improves the texture of the hair. Conditioning agents are added to improve the texture of hair, okay, or the different conditioner are used to reduce the fluffiness and the soft, and they soothe the hair shaft. Also they make the hair soft and shiny. Okay, conditioning agent किंवा conditioner का ॲड केले जातात? Because they improve the texture of hairs. Also they reduces the fluffiness. They produces the smooth hairs. Also they imparts the softness and shine to the hair. So different conditioning agents are used like glycerin, lanolin and their derivatives, propylene glycol, okay, or some mineral oils are also used. The next are the thickening agents. Thickening agents are used to increase the viscosity of the shampoos and provide the desired consistency to the preparation. Okay. फॉर्म्युलेशनची विस्कॉसिटी इन्क्रीज करण्यासाठी किंवा त्याला डिझायर्ड कन्सिस्टन्सी देण्यासाठी आपण डिफरंट कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन्समध्ये थिकनिंग एजंट्स ॲड करू शकतो. So thickening agents are used like polyvinyl alcohol, methyl cellulose, sodium alginate, carboxymethyl cellulose, and the sodium stearate. Okay, these are commonly used as the thickening agents. The next are the opacifying agents. Opacifying agents are used to make the shampoo opaque. ओपेक मीन्स नॉन ट्रान्सपरंट. ओके, शॅम्पूजना एक ओपॅसिटी देण्यासाठी आपण काय करतो आहे, ओपॅसिफाईंग एजंट्स ॲड करतो आहे. आणि ओपॅसिफाईंग एजंट्स यूज आर द ग्लिसराइल स्टिरेट, कॅल्शियम अँड झिंक सॉल्ट्स ऑफ स्टिरिक ॲसिड, सिटाइल अल्कोहोल, ग्लायकॉल. These are used as the opacifying agent. The next are the sequestering agents. Sequestering agents means these are the chelating agent or the complexing agent. Sequestering agent used is the EDTA. Okay, EDTA is used as the sequestering agent or it is a chelating agent. So what is role of that sequestering agent? This sequestering agent or the chelating agent forms the water soluble complexes with the metal ions which are present in the water, and they make the shampoo more effective in the hard water. Okay, सिक्वेस्टरिंग एजंट म्हणजे काय, तर चिलेटिंग एजंट किंवा कॉम्प्लेक्सिंग एजंट. द वेल नोन चिलेटिंग एजंट इज द EDTA. तर आता हे चिलेटिंग एजंट काय करतात, दे फॉर्म्स द वॉटर सोल्युबल कॉम्प्लेक्सेस विथ द मेटल आयन्स विच आर प्रेझेंट इन द वॉटर. वॉटरमध्ये जे काही मेटल आयन्स असतील त्यांच्यासोबत चिलेटिंग एजंट कॉम्प्लेक्स फॉर्म करतात आणि त्यापासून ते वॉटर सोल्युबल असं कॉम्प्लेक्स तयार करतात. तर असं केल्यामुळे काय होतं, शॅम्पू बिकम इफेक्टिव्ह इन द हार्ड वॉटर ऑल्सो. जसं की आपण बघितलं हार्ड वॉटरमध्ये काय आहे, जास्त अमाऊंटमध्ये एलिमेंट्स प्रेझेंट असतात. ओके, त्याच्यामुळे त्याला एक हार्डनेस येतो वॉटरला. पण हार्ड वॉटरमध्ये काय होतं आहे, शॅम्पू लेदर किंवा फोम प्रोड्यूस करत नाहीत. सो हे होऊ नये किंवा शॅम्पू इफेक्टिव्ह व्हावा यासाठी काय करतो आहे आपण, शॅम्पूजमध्ये चिलेटिंग एजंट ॲड करतो आहे. तर हे चिलेटिंग एजंट काय करतात, तर वॉटरमधल्या मेटल आयनसोबत कॉम्प्लेक्स फॉर्म करतात, आणखीन वॉटर सोल्युबल कॉम्प्लेक्सेस तयार करतात. असं केल्यामुळे काय होतं आहे, शॅम्पूचा इफेक्टिव्हनेस वाढवला जातो किंवा शॅम्पू चांगल्या प्रकारे हार्ड वॉटरमध्ये सुद्धा क्लिन्झिंग ॲक्शन दाखवतात किंवा ते चांगल्या प्रकारे फोम आणि लेदर प्रोड्यूस करू शकतात. ओके, सो या पर्पजसाठी शॅम्पूजमध्ये सिक्वेस्टरिंग एजंट किंवा चिलेटिंग एजंट्स ॲड केले जातात. द नेक्स्ट आर द प्रिझर्वेटिव्स. Okay, to preserve the shampoos against the bacteria and the mold contamination, the different preservatives like methyl paraben and the propyl paraben are added. So this is again important as per the exam point of view. Write down the formulation of shampoo. So you have to write this type of additives. Okay, and this is sufficient. Okay, in this examples are important. So I will repeat again. Shampoos contain surfactants like anionic, cationic, amphoteric and the non-ionic surfactants. Anionic surfactant has the good detergent properties. An example is the sodium lauryl sulfate. Cationic surfactant has the low cleansing and foam property. Example is the cetyl pyridinum salt. Then amphoteric surfactant which has the mild detergent action, or they are used in the mild shampoos, that is in the baby shampoos. Example is the derivatives of amino acid. Then next are the non-ionic surfactants which are used in combination with other surfactants. An example of non-ionic surfactant is the lauric monoethanoamide. Then next are the conditioning agent. Conditioning agents are used to improve the texture of hair, to impart a softness, smoothness or shine to the hair. So different conditioning agents used are the mineral oils like propylene glycol, lanolin and their derivatives. Then different humectants like glycerin are used. Then next are the thickening agent to increase the viscosity of formulation or to achieve a desired consistency. The different thickening agents are added. Examples of thickening agents are methyl cellulose, carboxymethyl cellulose, that is CMC, and the sodium stearate. Then next are the opacifiers or opacifying agents which produces the shampoo opaque, that is non-transparent. ओके, शॅम्पूचं फॉर्म्युलेशन नॉन ट्रान्सपरंट करण्यासाठी आपण त्याच्यामध्ये ओपॅसिफाईंग एजंट्स ॲड करतो विच इम्पार्ट्स ओपॅसिटी टू द शॅम्पू और द which produces the shampoo opaque, that is non-transparent. So example of opacifying agent are glycol, glyceryl stearate, cetyl alcohol and the stearyl alcohol. The next are the sequestering agents, that is complexing agents or the chelating agents. Chelating agents produces the water soluble complexes with the metal ions and which make the shampoo effective in the hard water also. An example of sequestering agent is the EDTA. The last one are the preservatives. To prevent the bacterial contamination of our shampoos, the different preservatives are added like methyl paraben and the propyl paraben. So what we are studying in this lecture, that is antiperspirant, deodorants and the shampoos. All these points are important as per the exam point of view. So for any query, please ask to me, and thank you for your attention. Okay, thank you.